Let's take a look at how we can quickly rename one or more of our photographs. We'll be working with this folder, which is titled Portraits. And as I scroll through the images in this folder, you'll see that we have a few different portraits, and all of the files are named with that default file name, which was given to the image by the camera. Well, I want to change that. What you'll discover with Photoshop and with Bridge is that there are many ways to do the same thing. So let's take a look at a few techniques that we can use first to change the name of a single file. One technique that you can use is to click into the file name. When you do that, it will activate the file name field, and here we can type out a new name and then press Enter on Windows, Return on a Mac in order to apply that change. Now this file name is pretty generic, so I want to change it again. Another way that you can do that is to press the F2 key. Here I'll go ahead and type out a new name and then press Enter or Return to apply. Let me show you one more method that you can use to rename your files, and that is to right-click or control-click. If you've selected just a single file, you want to choose this option, which is Rename. And again, this will allow you to then rename the file here. Yet what about those situations where you want to rename a group of images? Like with these photographs here, I wouldn't want to deliver these images to the subject or to the client with this generic file name. I want to customize it. To do that, click on the images that you want to work on. Here I'll click on the first photograph, hold down the Shift key, and then click on the last photograph. If you want to add more to this selection, hold down the Shift key and click again until you've selected all of the photographs. Then what we need to do is access what's called Batch Rename. There are a few ways that we can do this. One technique that you can use is to right-click or control-click. Here you'll notice we have the option for Batch Rename. Another way that you can access those same controls is to navigate to the Tools pull-down menu. Then you can choose Batch Rename. Here you'll also discover a handy shortcut that you might want to write down because you'll discover that you will be batch renaming your files quite a bit. Let's go ahead and choose one of those methods to launch the Batch Rename dialog. I'm just going to click on that here, and then that will open up my Rename dialog. Well, in this dialog, you can see that we can rename these files and rename them in the same location, or move or copy those images to a different spot. In this case, I'll leave them exactly where they are. Next, I'll choose a text for this. I'll go ahead and name this Cara, and then I'll choose a sequence number. In this case, I'll have this start off with 1. Here, if we click on this pull-down menu, you can see that you can choose other criteria as well. You can also add or remove criteria, and as you make changes to this, you'll notice that it will update the preview of your file name down below. Now currently it says Cara01. I'm going to add a little dash after the name Cara just to separate the name and also the number here for this file name. All right, after you've specified how you want to rename the files, just click Rename, and what it will do is it will batch rename all of those images. Now if you found that you've made a mistake, you can always rename these again. Here we can go to our Tools pull-down menu, choose Batch Rename, and then we could further customize this. Rather than a dash, for example, if we wanted to use an underscore, we could then make that change. Just make sure that it starts off with the right number, then click Rename. And in this way, you can make subtle changes in case you had a typo. And this is especially helpful because when you're batch renaming a lot of files, you want to make sure that you got it right.